The Pittsburgh Steelers are working tirelessly to refine their roster and give this city the dominant football team it deserves. With the offseason in full swing and major decisions looming, the front office is leaving no stone unturned in its search for a quarterback. Will they land a seasoned veteran like Aaron Rodgers, take a gamble on a young talent, or look to the draft for their future signal caller? We've got all the latest updates coming your way, but before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. Now, let's break it all down. While Aaron Rodgers remains Pittsburgh's top priority, the Steelers are keeping their options open as they prepare for the 2025 season. One name that has emerged in trade talks is New England Patriots quarterback Joe Milton. The second-year gunslinger was a sixth-round pick last season, but has already shown flashes of brilliance that have multiple teams intrigued. Milton's name has been heating up on the trade market, and according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, the Dallas Cowboys are among a list of several teams interested in acquiring him. The Patriots are reportedly seeking a third-round pick in return, and there's a strong belief that a deal could be made soon. The Patriots are exploring a trade. I'm told several teams are interested. One team to potentially watch for is the Dallas Cowboys because they are looking for a good backup. A young backup with upside they may not get in the draft, Fowler reported. So where do the Steelers fit in? If Pittsburgh views Milton as a long-term answer, they may be willing to outbid Dallas and other teams in pursuit. However, they also have their eyes on the NFL draft, where names like Jalen Milroe, Quinn Ewers, and Will Howard could be available on day 2. If Pittsburgh is serious about securing a young quarterback, they'll need to act fast, because they aren't the only team looking for answers under center. Another storyline that has Steelers fans on edge is the future of wide receiver George Pickins. Ever since Pittsburgh pulled off a blockbuster trade for DK Metcalf, speculation has swirled about whether Pickins remains part of the team's long-term plans. According to Ray Fittipaldo of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, if the Steelers do decide to trade Pickens, they shouldn't settle for anything less than a third-round pick. They should never trade George Pickens for anything less than a third-round pick, Fittipaldo said on 93.7 The Fan. No matter if they do that this spring or the fall, because George is going to sign a big contract next year if he walks in free agency, and at minimum, you're probably going to get a third-round comp pick. Compensatory picks are given to teams that lose key free agents, and given Pickens' potential, he could easily fetch a third-rounder if he signs elsewhere next offseason. While Pickens hasn't formally requested a trade, rumors suggest he may have fallen out of favor with the team. Pittsburgh made a strong commitment to Metcalf, signing him to a massive 5-year, $150 million extension. That deal could make it difficult to retain Pickens when his contract is up. For now, the Steelers are keeping their cards close to their chest, but this situation is worth monitoring closely. As if the quarterback situation wasn't already complicated enough, the Steelers still haven't made a definitive move 1 month into the new league year. Aaron Rodgers remains an option, but no official deal has been reached. Meanwhile, Russell Wilson, who started 11 games for Pittsburgh in 2024, is still available and could potentially return if the Rodgers deal falls through. The Steelers' lack of clarity at quarterback has only fueled the frustration of fans. While Pittsburgh has made the playoffs in 4 of the last 5 seasons, they haven't won a postseason game since 2016. This has led to increasing calls for change within the organization, but so far, the team appears hesitant to take bold action. Many expect the Steelers to target a quarterback in the 2025 NFL Draft, but their position at number 21 puts them in a tough spot. None of the top quarterback prospects are projected to fall into that range, and with Jackson Dart's draft stock rising, Pittsburgh could be left scrambling once again. If Pickens is traded, it would mark the second major departure from the Steelers' 2024 offense. Running back Najee Harris already signed with the Los Angeles Chargers in free agency, ending his 4-year run with the team. If Wilson also leaves, the Steelers could be looking at an almost entirely new offensive unit in 2025. At one point during the 2024 season, everything seemed to be clicking for the Steelers. The team sat at 10-3 in contention for the AFC North title and possibly even the #1 seed in the conference. More importantly, Russell Wilson was playing well enough to suggest that he could be a serviceable quarterback for at least another couple of seasons in Pittsburgh. Then, everything fell apart. The Steelers lost their final 4 regular season games. Wilson's play regressed dramatically, and Pittsburgh was once again embarrassed in the postseason. Wilson's late-season struggles forced the front office to reassess their plans, and their top priority quickly became bringing back Justin Fields. However, the New York Jets swooped in and signed Fields, leaving Pittsburgh scrambling for a Plan B. That's when Wilson re-entered the conversation. But was he ever really the team's preferred option? According to team insider Mike DeFabo, Wilson was never truly in the Steelers' plans for 2025. Publicly, they framed this as a Justin versus Russ decision, but it's pretty clear that they were really just using Russell Wilson as a backup plan and as leverage, DeFabo said. It appears the Steelers were more interested in pushing Fields to sign quickly rather than genuinely considering Wilson as their future starter. And if Wilson suspected he was nothing more than a fallback option, the team's actions since then have only confirmed his suspicions. Pittsburgh has made it abundantly clear that they are looking for alternatives. First, they reportedly showed interest in veteran quarterback Matthew Stafford. Then, they offered a deal to Sam Darnold. And now, all eyes are on Aaron Rodgers. It's no secret that Rodgers is the Steelers' top target, and if he signs with Pittsburgh, Wilson's days in the Steel City will officially be over. He can't be too happy about the way that things have gone, where initially he had to feel going into this situation that it was either him or Justin, DeFabo explained. Now you're going, if you're Russell Wilson, wait a minute, you didn't get Justin? Then you explored Sam Darnold? You thought about Matt Stafford and maybe offered him a contract? Now you're talking to Aaron Rodgers. How far down the list do I fall? From Wilson's perspective, it's hard not to feel disrespected. He was once viewed as a potential long-term option for the team, but as soon as his play declined, he became an afterthought. The writing is on the wall. Wilson won't be Pittsburgh's starter in 2025. The only question now is where he'll end up. Wilson isn't just competing with Rodgers for Pittsburgh's starting job. He's also competing with him for a spot in New York. The Giants are another team in the market for a veteran quarterback, and reports suggest they are closely monitoring both Rodgers and Wilson. If the Steelers land Rodgers, Wilson will likely end up in New York. If Rodgers decides to go elsewhere, then Pittsburgh might be forced to keep Wilson for another season. It's a game of quarterback musical chairs, and the Steelers are at the center of it all. Rodgers reportedly spent 6 hours visiting with the Steelers last week, a strong indication that the team is serious about bringing him in. If Pittsburgh can finalize a deal with the future Hall of Famer, Wilson's departure will become inevitable. But if Rodgers takes his time making a decision, Wilson may be left in limbo for weeks. With so many moving pieces, the Steelers have to be careful about their next steps. The decision at quarterback will shape the team's future, and the potential loss of Pickins could alter their offensive identity even further. Pittsburgh needs to be aggressive but also smart in how they handle these roster moves. So now, Steelers Nation, we turn it over to you. Should Pittsburgh go all in on Aaron Rodgers, or should they pursue a younger option like Joe Milton? Would you trade George Pickens if it meant securing a future quarterback? And what should the Steelers do in the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update. We'll be back soon with more breaking Steelers news. Here we go.